All right.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Elizabeth Schlesinger. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I am a proud St. Louisan, a member of the LGBTQ plus community, and the incoming chair of the National Board of Directors of the Human Rights Campaign. I am so pleased to be with you today as we launch the 2023 Municipal Equality Index right here in St. Louis.
Yes.
So for that, HRC has a long history of engagement in the St. Louis community, and I am proud to welcome our president, Kelly Robinson, and some of our most dedicated volunteer leaders who are joining us today. In collaboration with our grassroots partners, HRC helps elect pro-equality candidates, advance pro-equality legislation, and make our community a safe place for all members of the LGBT community to live, work, and thrive. The Human Rights Campaign's Municipal Equality Index is the nation's only comprehensive nationwide assessment of LGBTQ plus equality through the lens of the policies, laws, and services that exist in cities and towns around the United States. This year, even in the face of a national state of emergency for LGBTQ people, the MEI finds record support from cities and towns just like St. Louis for equality. Here in St. Louis, Mayor Tashara Jones has led the city as we again receive a score of 100, even in the face of the anti-LGBTQ attacks we see from our state legislature that seeks to erase critical protections. I know that Mayor Jones will continue to support the St. Louis LGBTQ community, and it is my great honor to introduce her today to talk about the importance of this work. Mayor Jones.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
I am Mayor Tashara Jones. I use she, her, hers pronouns, and I am proud to be mayor of the city of St. Louis. Today, it is my honor to stand here alongside our national partners at the Human Rights Campaign, elected officials, and members of our LGBTQIA+ community to officially launch this year's Municipal Equality Index. For cities across the country, the MEI serves as a guide to ensuring that we take steps to ensure that our cities are welcoming and inclusive of the queer community. It also holds us as elected leaders accountable to our cities. Starting today, you can see the 2023 scores of more than 500 different cities, as well as their successes and opportunities to do better. Once again, the city of St. Louis has earned a 100 score as every year since the MEI campaign has begun. See, being a blue city in a red state comes with its own significant challenges. The city of St. Louis and our friends across the state in Kansas City are frequently preempted in our attempts to keep our cities safe and welcoming places for all. I've heard from people in our LGBTQIA+ community about how, despite the city's non-discrimination ordinance, many still face discrimination in housing and employment, and about the pain they felt when the Missouri legislature and the Attorney General launched their attacks on trans kids, their families, and their doctors. The floor of the Missouri legislature echoed with the same hateful rhetoric about transgender Missourians today as they did about gays and lesbians in the 80s and 90s. And ultimately, they passed laws not only sidelining our trans youth from playing sports with their peers, but also stripping them of access to life-saving, gender-affirming health care that they need to live their own authentic lives. Families across St. Louis had to weigh the difficult option of staying in the city they love or moving just across the river just to make sure that their children get the care they need. That's a decision that no family should ever have to make. However, in the city of St. Louis, we fight like hell for our families. In spite of preemption, in spite of the attacks and hateful rhetoric, we have not wavered in our dedication to supporting and protecting our community. So let me take this opportunity to brag a little bit about St. Louis, if I may. We are proud to have LGBTQIA plus representation on the Board of Aldermen. Yes. City employees receive inclusive health benefits that include coverage for gender-affirming care and related travel expenses. Last year, we established the city's first permanent LGBTQIA plus advisory board, a diverse group of representatives who've been working to identify opportunities for us to be more inclusive. City Treasurer Adam Lane worked with the Trans Housing Initiative to create its first paid financial empowerment cohort for trans people. And the St. Louis Area on Aging and its staff are strong advocates at the state level for our LGBTQIA plus adults, our older adults, that is. Last May, we pushed back on the Missouri legislature and Attorney General's attacks on trans youth with an executive order that promotes more inclusive policies, from ensuring that every public building has a gender-neutral restroom, to creating safe spaces and programs in our rec centers, to promoting better policies across departments in every corner of our city. And right now, the city is proudly flying the transgender flag through the month of November to commemorate the loved ones we've lost ahead of Trans Day of Remembrance next week. I could go on, but the bottom line is that in St. Louis, you deserve to succeed regardless of your skin color, your zip code, your sexual orientation, or your gender identity and expression. I stand here today committed to making St. Louis the best place it can possibly be for our LGBTQIA plus people. And now I am so excited, super excited, to welcome Human Rights Campaign President Kelly Robinson.
Thank you. All right. Good morning, St. Louis. Can we? Why, hello. Can we give it up one more time for Mayor Jones? Mayor, your leadership is truly remarkable in what it means to set a new standard, not just for us to survive, but to thrive as LGBTQ plus people. My name is Kelly Robinson. I use she, her pronouns. I'm proud to serve as president of the Human Rights Campaign Foundation. I have to begin by giving some heartfelt thanks to so many folks in this room, especially Elizabeth Schlesinger, the chair of HRC's National Board of Directors. I'm also incredibly pleased to be joined by advocates on the front lines of the fight for equality in this city and across the state. We have Jordan Braxton here from Black Pride St. Louis, and Robert Fisher from Promos here with us today. And I'm going to say it again, it feels good. It feels good to be in St. Louis this morning to launch the 2023 Municipal Equality Index. In partnership with the Equality Federation, the Human Rights Campaign Foundation created this. We created this index to be a powerful tool for measuring LGBTQ plus equality across our nation. And believe you me, it is more important now than it ever has been. For the first time in our history, this June, the Human Rights Campaign declared a national state of emergency for the LGBTQ plus community. This declaration was in response to more than 500 anti-LGBTQ plus bills introduced in state legislatures across this country, with more than 80 being signed into law, including here in Jefferson City, Missouri. As we join together across race and place to beat back these attacks, it's important. It's important that we're able to measure our progress. The MEI helps us to do just that. Many folks see the MEI as a sort of LGBTQ plus report card for cities and towns, but it's actually so much more than that. This index is not just about numbers, it's about the heart of our communities, the soul of our communities. And the index has two jobs. First, it gives us a snapshot of how much a city or town supports LGBTQ plus equality. Think of it as a window into their values. And second, it provides a roadmap for mayors, for councilors, for administrators to show them how they can protect LGBTQ plus residents and staff even better. This year, We've looked at 506 cities and towns across all 50 states. And now, here's the good part. Even with the challenges that we're facing, the MEI shows us that more cities and towns than ever are standing up for LGBTQ+ equality. A whopping 25% of them, that's 120 cities, got a perfect score of 100 on our MEI. That's thanks to mayors, councilors, and city managers who are doing everything they can to support their LGBTQ+ residents. The national average for cities has gone up by 2 points to 71. And this increase isn't limited by where you live. It's all over the country. It shows that LGBTQ+ equality is something that matters to everyone, no matter where you are. But make no mistake, we still face an uphill battle. Anti-LGBTQ+ laws are making life harder for LGBTQ+ people, even in places where we thought we had strong allies. One big example is health care for trans folks, especially younger trans people. Due to these new state laws, fewer cities can offer this kind of care. That is a step backwards for the progress that we have made. But in the middle of all this, there's hope. There's hope in places like St. Louis, Missouri. St. Louis is what we call an all-star city because it is a beacon of hope and progress in a state that too often turns its back on its citizens. That work is in large part because of advocates and activists across St. Louis partnering with Mayor Jones and the St. Louis City Council. St. Louis and the all-star cities across America remind us that even in these tough times, we can come together and make our world more equal and more inclusive. So today, let's take inspiration from the MEI and the communities it represents, and let's work together. Because when we're united, there's no limit to the love, the acceptance, and the equality that we can achieve. Thank you.
Hi everyone, my name is Catherine Oakley and I am Senior Director for Legal Policy at the Human Rights Campaign and most importantly for today, the founding author of the Municipal Equality Index. And it is my pleasure to introduce you to Robert Fisher, who's going to talk to you a little bit about what it's like to do this kind of work in Missouri.
Good morning. My name is Robert Fisher. It's spelled F-I-S-C-H-E-R. I use he, him pronouns. I am the Director of Communications for PROMO, the Missouri's statewide LGBTQ+ public policy and advocacy organization. This morning, we're called to a place that should be filled with hope. But there are tons of emotions inside of us, including everyone on these stairs, outside of just hope. There is rage. There is sorrow, there is fear and terror, and there is utter disbelief at what we've experienced and in our community just this year alone. Never in the 37-year history of PROMO has there been such a dangerous legislative session such as the one in 2023. Every single branch of our state government is actively attacking LGBTQ+ Missourians. The legislature filed 55 anti-LGBTQ+ bills. The courts failed to defend trans and non-binary youth, those incarcerated, and low-income individuals. Governor Parson forced the state legislature to push anti-trans legislation, and the unelected Attorney General continues to overextend his power. Some LGBTQ+ Missourians, particularly trans adults and families with trans children, are considering leaving the state entirely. Many have already left. Those who remain see their rights restricted or threatened, specifically when we talk about rural communities and Black and brown individuals. Our community partners are monitoring a significant increase in hate, public displays of hate, and as we've heard, the HRC has declared that we are in a state of emergency. The Municipal Equality Index serves as a reminder of a beacon of hope alive, even in states like Missouri. City leaders such as Mayor Tajara Jones, County Executive Sam Page in St. Louis County, all the way to Mayor Buffalo in Columbia and Mayor Q in Kansas City. They are all standing up against the hate pouring out of our state government and saying, "You're not listening. Our residents don't want this." They are uplifting the voices of trans and queer people. listening to those most frequently left out of conversations, and fighting back as a powerful sign of not only visibility, but tangible action. We begin the 2024 legislative session in only a matter of weeks, and next year looks to be more of the same, with renewed attacks on LGBTQ+ people, Black and brown individuals. The actions of strong municipal leaders will play a pivotal role in the revolution of changing the hearts, minds, and policies of our entire state. So a massive thank you to Mayor Jones, the Board of Alders, and Dr. Monty, the city's head of public health, who lead with courage. To city leaders throughout the state, remember to continually prioritize people-first policies and center the most vulnerable populations in your solutions. Let us stand together in collective unity to create a Missouri where every trans child is supported, every queer person is safely housed, every LGBTQ+ adult is protected from employment discrimination, every Black and brown resident is safe from state violence, and where all queer people, each and every one of us, are valued and thriving. Thank you.
And now it's my pleasure to introduce you to Jordan Braxton.
Good morning. Thank you. It's Jordan, Jordan, Braxton, Braxton. Pride St. Louis, Director of Diversity, Equity, Inclusion, and Outreach, and my pronouns are she, her, and hers. Well, it is my pleasure and honor to be standing among such great leaders of the City of St. Louis and our LGBTQIA+ community. I am also thrilled that HRC has decided to launch the Municipal Equality Index in St. Louis, since it's very clear that St. Louis is a city that is willing to fight for the rights of its LGBTQIA+ residents, especially its transgender residents. We have gone into the lion's den, which is called Jefferson City, to speak out against all these hateful anti-LGBTQ bills and the harm they have caused our community. St. Louis has a very large and resilient trans community. We have several trans-led organizations, such as Metro Trans Umbrella Group, Trans Housing Initiative St. Louis Queer Support Helpline, and Transparent, that have worked with our city officials, held roundtable events, and to work with this administration so we can better serve and protect our transgender community. We are working with the Mayor's Office and the Board of Aldermen. We have accomplished several firsts, not only in the city of St. Louis, but across the nation. We have the nation's first and only transgender memorial garden. As the mayor said before, the trans flag is flying over City Hall in the first time in recognition of Transgender Awareness Month. There is one of its first of its kind mural in the Grove expressing trans joy, and Mayor Jones herself has spoken at several Transgender Day of Remembrance vigils. But the successes don't stop there. With the support of the Mayor's Office and the Chiefs, we have successfully conducted diversity, equity, and inclusion trainings with the St. Louis Metropolitan Police Department, the St. Louis Fire Department, and EMTs. Continuing education is still happening with all these first responders. We have looked at existing city policies and procedures to ensure that they are inclusive and supportive of our trans community. It is comforting to know that we have a mayor, aldermen, and other elected officials that are working in solidarity with the trans community and putting in the work to make sure St. Louis is a safe and inclusive city, not only for our trans community, but for all of our LGBTQIA+ St. Louis citizens. Thank you very much.